What's good, y'all? This your boy Shatek, the producer. We're on the Beatsonfilm network. We call this one Conversations on Film. We have our co-hosts here, Jasmine and Rick. What's going on, y'all?
Hi.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Chilling. All right, so you guys may know Jasmine, but you're supposed to because that's the first episode. Rick, tell us about yourself.
Rick, aka Hollywood Rick, Royal Ratchet Podcast, Beatsonfilm alumni. I probably own stock in this company by now. The amount of money I put over here. Close friend to Shatek, hip hop artist, done it for a while. All around money getter, hustle, Brooklynite, New Yorker all the way through.
And he's a Jamaican. All right.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
Nice.
All right, Jasmine, you could, refresh their memory.
All right, so I'm Jasmine. I'm from Hollis, Queens all day. Queens get the money. We got real backyards, grass, driveways, You heard? I am a cannabis consultant. So I'm in the cannabis industry. And I actually used to farm hemp and cannabis. So I went from dating the hustlers to becoming one, but legally.
No doubt. And I'm sure y'all know who I am already. All right, cool. All right, so listen. So let's get into some subjects, right? Some topics, right? Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I got a lot of people, text me, what they think about it. Put it in the comments on YouTube. It's important for the algorithms to go up. Subscribe, like, hit the notification button, all that stuff that YouTubers say. All right, so let's talk about being in a relationship, right, with someone with kids, right, and dealing with the other parent. So if you're in a serious relationship, and you have kids, and your baby father may be crazy, or your baby mother may be crazy, or their baby mother may be crazy, or their baby father may be crazy. How do you handle that? Who wants to take a stab at it first?
I'll go.
I'm going to let Rick go. He's the guest.
That's how it works. Yeah. That's first. I get you. I just think when you're dealing with somebody, the biggest thing is full disclosure. Listen, my baby daddy crazy. This is your warning before you get involved with me. Listen, I got kids, and as much as things are going hot and heavy with me and you, this nigga over here crazy. Right? And if if you're willing to deal with that, then we can take it to the next level. It's the same thing with, how old your kids are, right? Letting them know how old your kids are, what your situation's like. Are you single? But then is there someone that still thinks you and them are like that? Because that's what happens a lot of times. You think you're single, and that person like, nah, we hooked up forever. So I think full disclosure is the most important thing. And then if you could get that, at least you've been warned, right? That this person over here is nuts, and you now entering at your own risk.
All right, so what if it's one of those situations where your guys were just, messing around, and it was just something fun, and then you caught feelings, and it's like too late?
Well, I mean, how do you? The thing about it, when you catch feelings is like you really can't put no borders on emotions, right? Like people are like you say you're just going in for fun, but then when emotions get involved, there really is why they're called emotions, because there's no rationale to it, right? You can't tell when your emotions are going to get hit. You met somebody, and all of a sudden, like, damn, she kissed me like that, and now I like her.
But you do have to allow your emotions to fully come through. Mm-hmm. So you have to already be in tune with letting that side of yourself. Because I don't date people with kids.
What?
Well,
And I have kids.
She has kids.
I feel like that when you establish that kind of line, you might be missing out on your blessing. The nicest guy in the world might have some kids, and he might be a gentleman and be raising those kids proper.
You're right. Yeah. However, what I've come to realize is a lot of men don't have control over their situation.
All right, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Go back.
So you have kids, right?
Uh-huh.
How many kids you got?
2.
You have 2 kids' fathers, or 1?
Technically 1.
Technically 1. Yeah. Okay. So you got kids, but the nigga can't have no kids.
Anybody else smell a double standard here?
Oh, I believe in double standards, and I'm gonna explain mine.
Go ahead.
So as a woman, I have a stellar co-parenting situation with their father. We hang out. He comes around all the time. Like, we're cool. A lot of men don't have that. So for me, it's like, I can't have a copacetic situation and allow your drama to now be a part of my life and my situation.
Well, let's backtrack on that, because the initial question was if you're dating someone with kids, and we talked about full disclosure. How about it that I'm the nicest guy in the world, but you have this copacetic relationship with your ex, and I'm not cool with that?
Then I can't date you. Like, we've already set up.
But
me and my ex have already set up the boundary that the foundation we have for our family, nobody can come in and mess that up, right? So like, if Shorty if he's dating somebody and she would say, I don't want her at the girl's birthday party because he threw the party that year. Absolutely not. She's always invited because she's family.
I mean, at the end of the day, that is your kid's father, right? But I'm the nicest guy in the world. Look at me.
How nice are you?
Super nice. I'm protecting, providing.
So then why do you have a problem with me and him's relationship?
Because that's another man in my domain, right? I'm trying to get with you.
We married?
Am I married? Yeah.
No. I said, we like in that situation? Would you be married? Because if you're your domain, you must.
But I mean, once I'm trying to establish us building into something, then that becomes my domain. That's why I'm trying to gather you into my space. Yes. But I will never be able to solely get you into my space because you have another man there. And his responsibility is not necessarily to you. His responsibility is to his kids.
Absolutely.
So his responsibility to his kids shouldn't get in the way of you taking on me as a really nice guy.
But he's going to be around. So like, if Thanksgiving, I throw a big barbecue every year. He's always there with his friends, his family. I just had an event, a couple weeks ago. I was sitting in one chair. My boyfriend was on my left and he was on my right. And they have respect for each other.
No, I understand.
But that's my take, right? That I don't date people that, because a lot of men don't have control. Now it's child support. Now it's, she's going to take me because now I have a girlfriend, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, or now money woes, because that's a big thing in relationships too, right? But now that I'm getting older, I don't necessarily want to date somebody that doesn't have kids, because I don't want to have any more kids.
But then doesn't that relatability comes involved too, when that person knows how to handle having kids and you...
Absolutely. I just rather your kids be grown.
I smell a double standard, Jazz. I ain't take you for a double standard.
I'm not. I rather the kids be grown. But the reason being, I don't have time for her to find out and figure out who I am. And now she wants to take you for child support, and now we playing the manipulation game. I'm not built for that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm built to like just
but then
haul off
if you
sometimes.
if you were initially able to set up a copacetic situation for you, why didn't you think that I'll be able to do that?
I haven't found that yet.
It's there.
I haven't found it yet. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying it's very rare.
I think too, what happened is that notion gets put into place. That is very rare. And I don't think it is very rare. I just think there's a stigma on necessarily black men too, that we don't know how to be cooperative and how to, be cordial and raise our kids the right way. A lot of biases do come from bitter baby mamas, not necessarily black men at all. Like, I'm willing to be the man that I want to be for my kids, as long as, we can just be cordial. And a lot of times women don't want to be cordial. It's naturally an instinctive thing for women to be jealous. Right. Jealousy is actually a female trait.
Me being a baby father of 3, right?
Yeah.
I've never, this is crazy, right? Baby fathers of 3. I have never had a stellar co-parenting situation, right? Where my girlfriend that I'm with could be around this kid and that kid. And
see that I can't. I can't even take you seriously.
It's a hard thing to juggle.
But Shy, is that because of you, or is it because?
I think it's because of me a little bit. It's not because I was like stepping out or nothing, or kept messing with my baby mothers or anything like that. It just never, it was always something that, and then I feel like I gotta protect the person that I'm with. From the nonsense.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, in a way you kind of choosing sides a little bit.
Yeah, like I dated somebody that had kids, and him and his baby mother I was at his house. They were arguing over the phone, and she asked him to put me on the phone. So I was like, okay. I get on the phone, and she's like, oh, he spent the night at my house, in October, I made him dinner and he stayed over here. And if you want, I could put my son on the phone. He'll tell you he was over here. And at the time, I think the little boy was like 9 years old.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't speak to children. I'm grown. Like, no. But what was the point of this conversation, right?
People are trying to win.
But wait, so now she's like, so she tells me he spent the night at her house in October. Me and him didn't start dating until November.
Mm-hmm.
So then when the egg got on her face, because she was like, oh, well, damn, my timeline is messed up. You know what I'm saying? She wound up putting him on child support. A portion of it was because of me, because she was mad that he had another relationship, because when I came around, he stopped sleeping with her completely or whatever. I've just seen too much vindictive, manipulative stuff. And I don't have the time for the drama at this point. Yeah. You know, and then I've yet to meet a disrespectful kid, but I know that they do exist, right? So now you acting funny style because your mother funny style. And then, so now I gotta go tell you, go get your mother. Yeah. Because I don't take disrespect from kids at all.
Understood. I mean, you're laying out a clear boundary, right? But I don't think with boundaries, you do alienate people. When you alienate people, you might be alienating your blessing. I mean, the guy for you might be that guy.
Well, the person I'm dating now has kids, but they're 20. Wait. They're 21.
Yeah. Older kids.
20.
Yeah.
Oh, the kids that age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, hold up now. Wait a minute. I ain't no cougar. Listen, I can't date you if you ain't know about the yellow plastic wrap on the KFC corn back in the day. Like, you gotta be a certain age. You gotta be a certain age for me to date you. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
The original corn of the car.
Facts. On the wooden stick. Like, if you don't know stuff like that, you wasn't around for the white tea era, I can't date you.
Yeah, the white tea era fact.
But his kids basically are grown, right? And
so technically they're not kids,
right? Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So like, you can have kids, but they need to be a little bit older, because again, that child support manipulative conversation, or I don't want nobody around my kid, and then when you ask the woman why, and it's like, oh well, I just, I don't really know you, but how many people in the schoolhouse do you know? Yeah. You should be the president of the PTA if that's the case, Ma. Because your kid goes to school every day, and unless you know every person in that school, how am I a threat? Yeah. Because we jumping on the same joystick now. Yeah. Come on, I'm not here for it.
That's what it is. A joystick.
Magic stick, joystick, pleasure stick, whatever you want to call it.
So all right, cool. So you wouldn't really take anyone serious with kids. What about just having little relationships? Like,
oh yeah, that's cool.
Like, I've done that a plethora of times.
A plethora
of times.
Well, it's just a fun thing.
Right.
But then, Sha, we were talking about the idea of emotions coming involved, because sometimes you go with one intention and end up with a different result.
Absolutely.
Right? You go thinking, all right, I'm gonna have some fun. You know what I mean? Shorty's all right. And then you go over there and you're like, damn, she sucked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I'm in love.
So the crazy thing is, as many women I've dealt with that had kids, I literally never really took them serious.
Yeah. Why is that?
Never. I just felt like I didn't want to. It's like I could have kids, right? But your first kid got to be my kid.
I felt that.
Yeah,
that's just I
I felt that
how it was, and I've never like really took any of them serious. Like, they bring their kids around me.
Sha, so we both Aquarius, right? So we bond on that Aquarius thing, and we're like easily detached. Right. We can be detached. I won't say easily detached, but we can be detached in the sense of, you know what your intentions are, and like, you really are not going to deviate from that. So like, you deal with someone, and no matter how much that person, kids or not, like, dig you know that, I'm really not going nowhere. Like, I'm really not into this as much as you want me to be into this. So like, my detachment is there, just in a mental state. Like, listen, I like you. You know I like you. You like me, but in my mind, I know this is not going past here, right? Mm-hmm. And even if you want to go past there, I'm not going to allow it to go there, because my intentions were never to go past there. Even if I'd rather cut the whole thing off than let my emotions let me go past where I intended to be in the first place. And that's always happened. Right. You know what I mean?
But isn't that a boundary that you're setting up? And what if you're missing your blessing?
You right. I'm not saying that we're not missing our blessings. I'm putting it out there.
Wait a minute.
You stand a chance of missing your blessing by setting up boundaries. Because I think people talk about falling in love. The number one way that you fall in love is being vulnerable. right? And when you're being vulnerable, you're allowing yourself to be open to whatever. Once you start setting a boundary, then you're not as vulnerable as you think you are.
I set boundaries. I can't not set boundaries because I know I have non-negotiables, right? And I know what I don't want.
Give me a non-negotiable besides the kids.
Non-negotiable is living with your mom.
Wow.
That's a non-negotiable for me.
What if
What if mom lives with me?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay, if your mother lives with you, and I'm not just gonna take your word for that, like
Yeah.
I would need to see. I don't want to say I want to see your bills
The
because that's
bogus
not
statement.
it. But I need a man that can hold his own.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want somebody who is still under his mother. And there's a difference between being a mama's boy and somebody that loves their mother unconditionally. Yeah. I'm all for the loving your mother unconditionally. But when you a mama's boy and now you got to consult your mother about any and everything that you do, where you go, how it get, bruh.
Mama knows best though. Nah.
Then stay with your mama.
Right.
Stay with your mama. I need a man.
Hey.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I guess, you would. So, Rick, you would. Your situation, but you can't take a woman with kids serious either.
No.
Bruh.
But I would not to say I wouldn't date a woman with kids though.
So,
I would.
but
I'm
if
saying
you're not
taking
gonna
it
take her
serious.
serious,
But
then what
I'm
you
not-
dating her
but
for?
the extent-
You gonna play with her?
And I even play with it.
You gonna drink the kids' juicy juice?
Don't play with it. Don't play.
You gonna come over and drink all the juicy juice and eat all the fruits and eggs? That's what you're saying, Rick?
So, kinda. No, but for real, honestly,
You still
just-
eating the Halloween candy?
you can set parameters, right? Really and truly, you get to a certain age in your life, there should be ways that you can fully disclose what your intentions are, right? You think everybody knows that they're going to be married or they're going to be like have a life partner forever?
Right.
I think at a certain point in life, you recognize that, listen, it's not going to happen. And this is my reality. And if you come to the fact that this is my reality, there's certain things that you're willing to accept. Now you got a guy like Reg comes around, he's stable, he's giving you A1, you know what I mean? And he'll take you out, bring you dinner, get, come through.
Pay for your friends. Dinners.
Yeah, pay for your, all that.
Trickery, rickery.
You know what I mean? We might be doing some of that. Paying some phone bills, whatever, right? You gonna pass it up because you chasing some fairy tale guy that doesn't exist, or you're gonna stick with the reality that's right in front of your face. So that's something that's a choice, and I think that's the thing that happens with a lot of people, is that they're not facing the reality of what they're actually in. People are in the fantasy world of thinking, okay, listen, I'm 55, I got 3 kids, and my Mr. Right is coming right around the corner. Nah, that ship sailed a while ago. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, so you can't find Mr. Right after 55?
Nah, Mr. Right got arthritis, and he's
but
back.
That's fine. Listen, you make adjustments.
Mr. Right arthritis, yeah.
So he not coming to save you. You gotta do.
Why she gotta be saved?
But that's what it really is. It comes down to that. It's like you really need companionship, and the companionship that you're seeking is not what you're gonna get. So you got to face the reality, and a lot of people don't face that reality. It's the Disney era of relationships where everybody feels like Prince Charming is coming to save them.
I think we're over that though.
Are we really?
I think so.
A lot of women aren't.
I don't know any women that think of the fairy tale ending.
Then all these women that are like in their
all the females want to be kings.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think we have an era of women who. Okay, so maybe it's 2 different sides of the spectrum. Either you have like this Disney thing, or you have this whole I want to be independent, and now you telling men I don't need no man, or ain't no, ain't nothing but ain't shit niggas out here. You can't attract what you don't believe exists.
That's
so
true.
if all dudes ain't shit, that's what you gonna keep attracting.
But that
doesn't mean you're looking for a fairy tale.
For you as a rational woman, right, saying a statement like that, right? How come there aren't enough women saying that to other women, letting them know, like, listen, what you're saying, if you're every day saying niggas,
because we're just now getting to accountability as black women.
So I'm glad that you used the word accountability, because accountability is like kryptonite to black women.
It is. It's uncomfortable, and we don't like being uncomfortable.
But then
because black women don't like to be embarrassed, and we think we equate accountability with embarrassment.
No,
we do.
Really?
I mean, you can't say no.
Accountability is a part of accountability is holding the mirror up to your own face.
Yeah, but that
so
doesn't.
now I have to live with some of the bad decisions that I've made, and
Yeah.
I may be embarrassed because of it. I may be embarrassed that I stayed with community Dick Raheem, and everybody told me to get away from him, but I was the one standing there justifying it. Oh no, he did so and so black my eye, and oh, but it was a love tap, or he didn't mean it, right? And accountability means I have to, number one, accept the part I played in this. Not only was I a victim, I covered up the villain. I protected the villain. You got to admit all of that to yourself. And for some women, it's embarrassing.
It is, but there's no growth without accountability.
Absolutely,
right?
I agree.
But then, and in the process of taking accountability or not taking accountability, you tarnish somebody else. So in this process of you not taking accountability, you're tarnishing all the niggas around you. Like, oh, these niggas ain't shit. And really and truly, it's not the niggas that ain't shit. It's you that really ain't shit because you have been not taking accountability for what you believe in or what's been happening in your life the whole time. So you're really like throwing the blame that you should be taking for yourself, and which would eventually help you grow onto someone else, and then we don't get any progress at all. And then we portray this picture to the world that niggas ain't shit when it's really not the case, right?
I agree.
So,
but the flip side of that now is men who tell you they don't want to get married because their uncle has had 5 failed marriages, but that's your uncle.
Yeah. Right.
If we learn to just make things subjective to that person in that situation, we would be a lot better. If we got rid of all the ifs and just lived in the moment, things would be a lot better and a lot easier.
But that sounds like vulnerability, which you need that to be able to cultivate a good relationship.
Not really.
It does.
Not too much vulnerability. She said living in the moment. Right? Like a lot of people, like when certain women want to get with men, it's like, all right, so what do we do now?
Yeah.
What's next?
What
about
next?
just enjoying
what
what
are
we have now?
What are we statement is like getting kicked in the nuts all the time. Cause it's like, yo, why you at the actor? We was just having fun.
Right.
We
be
were
like Carisha. So what is we?
what we is. What we is. Like, nah. Why we had to do that, right? Because then if we are living in the moment, then let's just embrace it for what it is right now, and then
let me tell you this. Let me drop a little game on you.
Yeah,
women ask that because we don't want to waste our time. Because remember, as a woman, I have a biological clock. So if I don't have any kids, and you're just frolicking with this situation that we have, or friendship or whatever, right? What if I waste all my good years on you?
But what if you don't?
And now I have a problem having kids.
So what if you don't, though? That's the thing. Because the thing about...
But that's just it. Women don't. And I love the fact that we are starting to understand, you don't got to stay, ma. You can get up and go.
Which is true. Because the thing is, a lot of times, if you women to say men will waste their time, and going back to the accountability thing, we don't ever hear the side of women wasting men's time, right? Because, like, listen, I'm here. A lot of men are intentional with a lot of things as far as they know financially they need to get money together to do what they need to do, right? And not to say that I won't bring you into my life and embrace a love relationship and have that grow, but like I just don't want to tell you I'm gonna marry you tomorrow or marry you next year or whatever. And women want that definite because they, as you say, they have a biological clock and they're counting in the back of their heads. But I'm looking at it like, yo, I'm rocking with Jazz. And I mean, she came into my life for a good time and we building and we're going to get to that point, right? And you don't want to hear that. You're like, nah, bro, you got to tell me when.
But when are we getting to that point?
So why do you need a when if you rocking?
Because you're not about to have me be your girlfriend that's 70 years old.
Right. So
it's not happening.
So with that, right, with that being said, how long can you be in a a situationship or whatever it is? Like, let's talk about our girl Young Miami and Diddy, right? Like, how long is she supposed to be not the side chick? Because he said she's not the side chick, and he'll come to your house and talk to you about it like men, right? How long can you be in a dating situation knowing that this guy may not take you that serious?
Yeah, Shy. So my answer to that is women will stay with you as long as deep as your pockets are. That's what it works out
That's
to.
a fact.
Women want security more than love, right? If they feel like they can get security with you, then they'll learn to love you eventually.
Yeah.
The number one thing women want is security. If you can provide security, which is financial security, she feels like she's safe around you. She feels like if she ever had a problem, she could reach out to you. She could communicate with you. Because you know Diddy, He's a slick talker. He could probably be in her ear telling her where she's going to be 20 years from now. He did it to every artist he ever signed. He sold them, listen, this is where you're going to be at. And she's there, right? She understands that he's an older guy with mature thinking. He's seen a lot of things. He could show her things, and you're opening up a woman's mind. She's willing to play that not side chick role, right?
The stupidity
Yeah,
role.
because the security is there, right? What is it that she wants that Diddy cannot provide, right? So she'll take that versus being with somebody that may not be as financially stable, but might love her to death.
Right. So what do you think, Jazz?
First of all, Carisha, please. I never believed that their relationship was real.
Yeah, me either.
Never. I thought it was a publicity stunt from the beginning. I think he told her he could further her career, and he knew that if he promoted the podcast and he sponsored it and the liquor and this, that he would get a bag too. So career wise, I understand her making the move, right? Because she's always in survival mode. You was a single mother, you was young, taking care of your siblings, all that, right? I get that. However, I'm disgusted by the situation because I'm tired of the narrative in the media that black men only womanize and give children, now it's a whole love triangle, right? And it looks like she had a price tag on her. Because we all know that ain't real. You don't go from a Kim Porter to a Carisha.
Yeah.
You don't go from elegant Kim Porter,
I mean, but
great,
you never know.
sweet-spirited, so what is we?
Yeah.
Unless you're going through a midlife crisis. And then
Right.
eventually you do wake up from this midlife crisis, right? And I just feel like sis was up holding this poppy sign at an award. You wasn't even sitting next to him, Ma. You was all the way up in the stand somewhere. You wasn't even down on the floor with him. Like, they just do too much for me for it to be believable.
I also felt like, Diddy, someone who's been global, international, exposed to so many different kind of women in different kind of cultures. Carisha wasn't it. I really just feel like
she's a very pretty young lady.
And I'm not saying she's not. She's a beautiful young
But
lady.
no.
But from a cultural standpoint, she's still limited to certain things. And I really feel like Diddy has transcended that decades ago, right? And I mean, as you say, you don't go from Kim Porter to
you don't go
Girl.
from J-Lo to Carisha.
Exactly.
Like,
you know what I mean? So I believe that, but I also do believe that within our culture, we accept a lot of things just based on money. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's just America in general. If you got money, you can get away with anything, and we accept anything just based on the fact that he's financially stable.
You know it's some nonsense when Nick Cannon is on like Baby 13 or 14, and it really is just these women solidifying their lives.
Right.
And it's what you said. Let me tell you something. A man with some money, and this doesn't go, I'm speaking generally because it's not for every woman before y'all come for me. But getting into it with a man with some money or a man with money doing you over, a chick will heal faster than Wolverine.
Yeah, because they say that's fact.
He got some money, baby girl. Oh, he slept with somebody. That's cool.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, Snoop Dogg's wife, and this was before Snoop got this crazy bag he has now because he is doing the damn thing. His wife did an interview and said, "You may have had him once, but he's mine all the time." And then there was a song like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the price women pay. There's so many celebrity wives who've been cheated on, but where's she going?
Yeah. It's the security. It's the financial security, and I think women value financial security over anything else. That's why they say cheating is a rich man's game.
Yes, it is.
It ain't for broke dudes
No.
to be running around. Because then you bring in all kinds of undue drama because you can't solidify those relationships, right? And it ain't nothing like apologizing with a gift.
Hello.
Or a trip.
An expensive one too.
Right? So
I need one that needs a signature when it comes through UPS. I need the good stuff.
something like that. And that's what I'm saying. And then that'll kind of increase your tolerance level for the bullshit. And then also, if you are financially stable, you're able to hide the bullshit even way better. Because now I got shorty over there I could put up in a condo instead of bringing it to my crib or bringing it to Telly or whatever. So
yeah, there was an article that just came out. It was 3 friends. They all split the rent in this apartment, and they used the apartment to cheat on their wives.
Where did they get that idea from?
Shit.
Yeah.
You thinking about why you ain't thinking that? Y'all see this? Like, you're like, where did they get that from? You one of the 3? You the 3rd?
I'll plead the 5th. We ain't got to talk about that right now.
Black men don't cheat. So in a way, I feel like with Carisha, this is on brand for her brand. Like City Girls. Like, yo, I got this old nigga and we about to get this money, and you know, I'm not gonna spend mine because she's hot in her own right. She should be getting her own. She got her own money. Her second baby father is one of the biggest producers in the world. So I feel like either, you know, she just keeping it on brand.
So if you're speaking it on brand, then that might be a conversation, just like Jazz said, that they probably had. You know what I mean? City girls are women.
Yeah, that definitely is a conversation they had. This was planned,
bro. Her
she
podcast,
knew about the baby and all that.
Her podcast won.
Yes, a whole award.
A whole award. And I think they had like
5 episodes.
They had 5 episodes in, and they won over Drink Champs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
And I love Drink Champs.
And I love Drink Champs too, just like everybody else. So it's like,
right.
But I mean, it is definitely marketing. I want to say there's the element of marketing in there, but it's also an element of you will tolerate what the dude in the bag will do if he's a dude with the bag.
Also, number one, for you older men that watch, we all know you ain't dating no young chick because you tricking. Come on, sugar daddy. I met a guy the other day. He's 59. My father just turned 62. I was like, you old enough to be my father? He's like, oh, I just want to text you every morning, good morning. And no, mind you, I told him, I was like, yo, I'm married. He was like, I'm not worried about that. I said, so you willing to be my side dude? He was like, oh, I wouldn't be side to nobody. Kind of like what Carisha was saying. But what more could you offer me, sir, but your wallet and your credit cards?
So let me tell you something. As a man getting up there in age myself, there's an aspiration as a man, especially as someone that's ambitious and someone that's striving to have more, to be able to provide for someone like that. I don't mind getting up in age and being like, yo, listen, I could pay some tuition if I want, pay some phone bills. That's an aspiration. All the OGs that I know growing up, maybe that's toxic way of looking at things, but all the dudes that I know growing up, that's what they did.
I mean, you're a better man. Like you are better everything at a certain age.
Yeah.
Like you're a better lover. You're a better giver. Yeah. You're a better listener.
I even had conversations with. I remember having conversations.
That's a great perspective. I never thought about it that way.
I even had conversations. Remember having conversations when I was younger.
Give me a pop
with younger women, and them saying that the older dudes knew how to take their time and knew where to hit. And by the time you get to 40, if everything is still functional, right?
40, wait,
40, you better be functional.
40 is fine. What's
40,
up
50,
you mean 50?
50, you functional.
55.
You know what I mean? Like, you know exactly what to do now. If you had some experience, right? Your 401k is up there. You know what I'm saying? You maxed out at work, top pay. You know what I'm saying? You done paid your house off, or you got you a nice car now. And it goes back to the kind of the idea of security, right? You have more to provide than a young buck coming up that age. So now,
that's the man's perspective. Now, as a woman, so you mean to tell me I'm about to rock with this man who just had a baby? Which means he was dealing with this woman, and now Carisha and some other girl, some random girl, are like going at it on social media because supposedly this other girl been dealing with Diddy too. And then he was just pictured holding hands, googly eyed with some other chick. Like,
right?
When does that stop?
Why does it have to stop?
If you have understandings, it should be okay.
Yeah.
If it's an understanding, then cool, because that seems to be the norm now. Like, people just down for whatever. I know I ain't one of them.
Yeah.
Because you decide you want to step out. We have an open relationship.
I got the resources. If I have the resources and I have the leverage, which is a bad way to look at it in a relationship standpoint, but are we doing this for love, or are we doing it for the position?
So now it's funny you say that, because I've seen so many times this one post that's floating around talking about men aren't loved correctly unless they have money. But everything you're just saying now equates to having money and status.
Because that's how we're taught. We're taught to that if you want to get love as a man, then you have to gather the resources.
Who taught you that?
That's just a cultural thing.
Like the world.
Who's gonna love me just cause?
Your mama.
Yeah.
Black women.
Yeah. And
then you came through us.
Yeah, but even my mama, if I get to 18 and I ain't paying no bills, where am I?
I would believe that if the jailhouse statistics weren't that the male jails get way more visitation than the female jails ever will.
You get visitation, yes, but where's the genuine love just because I'm me?
Going up to a prison to see somebody is a form of love and it's sacrifice. It's a lot to go through.
I'm not negating
security and all of that. And there are men in jail who have nothing. They're not working in jail. They're not pulling any money. Their commissary stays full. You know what I'm saying? They getting cars, they getting visits, they getting love. So there are plenty of women that love men even when they don't have. And that's usually when the genuine love comes in, when you ain't got it.
But is that the narrative that's pushed throughout the world, though? Because then that same guy who was in jail and was getting all these visits, he comes out 6 months from now, and then he don't have no job, and then does that genuine love go? So it's almost like we've been taught to equate love as men with resources. Like the more resources I get, the more women I get, the more people around me, the more, and then that just comes across as the only type of real love that I know. There's no.
So when do y'all unlearn that though?
That is the question. And how can we unlearn that if the culture keeps going in that direction where like a Nick Cannon can have 13 kids and no one is coming down on him versus Ray, he got 13 kids and everybody's coming down on him, which I'm not justifying 13 kids, but what I'm trying to say is,
well, money does make
money is
makes
the
a
deciding
lot.
factor for a lot of things. And especially in the culture that we live in, if you got money, you can do whatever you want. So my suggestion to the fellas is get your money and you can get whatever you want.
And you can get the honey.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right, so all of us are in relationships, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're around your significant other a lot, and sometimes it's good to have space. What do we think about space from our significant other? Is that important, or do you just want to be around them all the time? If I was your best friend,
I want you out.
You gotta have space. I mean, they what the old saying, it says that absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Right.
That's like an old saying, right? When you need time to miss someone, right? And that's why sometimes you might spark up a bullshit argument, or your girl might spark up a bullshit argument for you to have that distance so you can come back. Because if you're under me all day, you become monotonous. You become boring in a sense, right? You just seeing that person all the time. No one wants to stare at the wall all the time. But you go outside and you come back in, that painting on the wall looks different. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you want to have space. I think space is necessary, especially if you've been with your partner for a long time. Right? You need time to be at, like, listen, I'm going to go check Shatek. I'm going to hang out for a little bit, get a beer, and I mean, whatever. Get a drink, go hang out, take a trip, and come back. And you give you an opportunity to miss me. Because if I'm around you all the time, it's like it just becomes boredom. And then it becomes monotonous. And then that's when people become complacent and lazy. And that's when the sex gets whacked. And, you know what I mean? That's why she don't want to do her hair. He knows who I am. He know what I look like. Why I got to get dolled up for that? That shit kills the dick. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need space. When I'm away with my boys.
Why I gotta get dolled up for it to be hitting?
Why not? I want that thrill.
You don't want us to find us a young Miami.
I'll find me a Carisha that stayed dolled up. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, she probably like
staying dolled up requires 10. A lot of work.
I mean,
so there's a relationship.
A lot of work.
So there's a relationship. A relationship.
I can't stay on 10. I might give you an 8.
That's fine.
My wig is definitely coming off at night. you gonna get these Cleos.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm cute though, but you gonna get the Cleos.
But before you take your wig off, you know what I mean?
No. I'm gonna take the wig off.
Let me take your
wig
off.
Put the bonnet on.
Okay,
that's cool.
Let me pull the wig off.
Yeah, that's fine. But please believe you're not gonna wake up next to the same person you lay down with.
So
complacency kills relationships.
Right. So
I agree.
So Jasmine, do you like to just be all up on it, or you feel like you need a little space sometime?
I think people need a little space, but I guess it depends on what you consider space. Like me and mine don't live together.
Yeah.
So that is our space, right? He goes to his house, I go to my house, and then we come back together. So that for now, that's our space until we decide to be under one roof. So that's it. But we talk all day, every day. Like
personally, I don't think women want a man that's all under them all the time. I think women want a man that they feel like other women want, right? And if he's up under you all the time, other women are not getting to see him the way that for you to be like, all right, that's my guy.
I know mine is fine. I ain't worried about.
So the thing about it is, if being under your woman all the time on her skirt tail all the time makes you look soft. Like you whoop. And women don't want to whoop men. I don't care what they say.
I want my whoop.
Nah.
Slavery.
Nah.
You know what? Listen. So how long have you been in a relationship with this fella?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, so it's
Fairly new.
It's a long time.
That's a
You
long
think
fucking
so?
time.
That's a long
I
time.
think 3 years is a long
Listen,
time.
you know how much things you could do
How
in
many
3
sneakers
years.
we done wore in 3 years?
So you feel like you want to be around him all the time. All the
But
time.
not like, I don't mean, but not physically. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I do what I do during the day. He goes to work or whatever. We talk on the phone or, you know, we make plans to see each other. But like right now it's Christmas time, right? It's grind time.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's putting in crazy overtime. I'm doing my side project, crazy hours. You know, you kind of got to get in where you fit in.
But you already got that space built in. The space is built into your relationship.
Yeah.
I'm talking about someone that like you come home every day and you're coming home to the same person every day and y'all got the same schedule. Y'all work 9 to 5. Well, not even the same schedule,
Well,
but
it
y'all
can
coming
get
home.
boring because routine can become very boring.
That's what it is. So you need that space to be like, listen, yo, I've been seeing this girl every day, and it's like we probably having sex once a week, maybe if that much. You know what I mean? And then after a while, it just gets monotonous and boring. And if you're not really putting intent in your relationship to say, okay, listen, let's spice this up a little bit. And even if you're around each other all the time, even spicing it up becomes hard.
All
You
right.
think so?
Yeah.
So you've been with your
There's so
partner,
many ways to spice it up.
right? You've been with your partner 3 years, right? And how long you been with your partner?
Well, me?
Yeah.
Since we were 17.
How long is that?
Damn.
You got gray hair,
Yeah,
so
so that's 20-something years.
20-something years.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't even hear numbers like that, not from our generation.
And yeah, 20-something years.
So, how do you deal with that? 27 years is a mighty long time.
And so in your young age, right? When you're younger, you're like, you know, the energy is there, right? That vibe is there all the time, right? And then you get older, you start having kids, right? And then there's different things that occupy your time and serves as space, right? So now, if you got a younger kid, my kids are my oldest son is a teenager, right? When he was younger, my space was developed with me having to take care of him or her having to take care of him. And then when we come back together, you know, then you've been away for a while. But then as my kids get older and we're spending more time, especially like say during COVID, right? We was all together all the time in the same house every day. Like that becomes cabin fever because you're like, yo, go somewhere or get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to get that feeling of missing someone. And, you know, ain't nothing like you're on a trip. You go out to get a drink. You're in your room. You're like, damn, I wish wifey was here right now. I would knock the brakes over. You know what I'm saying? So now when you get home, you're like, all right, you get that vibe to do that again, right? It's like you miss her. You get an opportunity to miss her. But if you're not doing that, if you're not creating space and being intentional about creating space too, like, listen, I don't want you under me all the time. Go somewhere with your girls, have some time, get a time to breathe without me, and then come back and let's get it together. That's how I handle it. But I think what's happening is if you're not being intentional about it, if you're not growing with your relationship, because that kills relationships a lot too, people growing apart, right? Some people are not having intentional growth with each other and recognizing that just like your iPhone changes, you change, people change, your intentions change. You got to keep updating your relationship. How many updates you get for your iPhone, child? You getting a lot, right? So you got to keep updating your relationship. That's why when you say, you know, staying on 10 is hard. Yeah, it's hard, but you gotta do it to maintain this great ass dick that I'm giving you in this good ass relationship.
But it depends on what you're staying on 10 means. Like if you expect me to be the same size 6 all throughout my whole bruh.
I'm not saying that. I mean, we factor in gravity and age. You know what I'm saying? Gravity and age.
Oh, okay. Because when you say 10, I'm thinking.
But you're gonna be fly. You're gonna be fly at 20. You're gonna be a fly at 30.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I don't want you.
But you also have to give room for life changing events, like having a baby.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm feeding this baby every 4 hours. I ain't on 10.
You know. What's a misconception a lot of time with women? They feel like men. They might think, and this might be a female insecurity, but they might think that men are like turned off by like stretch marks and baby fat and all that. We not. We like that. We like that. The natural instinct.
We like the tiger stripes.
Yeah, word. We like that. We like the extra.
I heard it. They like it.
Yeah, we like the extra flab. I put that flab there. I like that. You know what I'm saying? And so we're not turned off by those things. What we are mostly turned off by is the attitude or the no effort. You know what I mean? The no effort turns you off more than anything else. Because then men have egos, right? And we want to be wanted too. Like, you know what I mean? So we come home and like, damn, shorty, put some boy shorts on. You walking around in this big ass t-shirt all day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Put
old navy sweatpants.
So why you can't go buy the boy shorts, lay them on the bed?
I don't have a problem with that.
Go get in the shower. Oh, yeah, okay.
We doing that. But if I buy them, you better wear them.
Of course. You should buy a bunch of them and then she can give you a fashion show.
They say, of course, and then when it's time, like, I don't feel like it. I got to, and that's, come on, we got to work on that.
Yeah, ladies, I don't know nothing about that. Yeah, I don't.
So, I think it's more
make it happen. I don't care if you roll over. You have to with one leg up. What you mean? No.
The number one turnoff might be the lack of effort, and that comes from women being complacent. They get complacent.
I think lack of effort comes all throughout. Like, it's men that do the same thing. It just shows up differently.
Yeah,
to where you used to bring me flowers. Mm-hmm. You used to send me cute little text messages. You used to put thought into date night. Mm-hmm. And then now we've been together 10 years. And it's like, oh, I'm tired of spending money. Or you don't even do date night in the house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think it works both ways. It just shows up differently. And then, I mean, ladies, you know, like they said, they like the stretch marks. Because a lot of y'all got that Henny belly.
Yeah.
So listen, all right. Let's talk about some complicated situations, right? You have a friend.
I thought that's what we were doing all the stuff.
Nah, even more complicated. You got a friend and they dated this individual, right? And then they broke up or they just stopped messing with them. Either way, they wasn't dating, they wasn't in a relationship, but they just used to mess around. Is it okay for you now to mess around with this friend?
No.
Whoa, that was fast. Why not?
Anybody my friends talk to is off limits. I don't care what the situation is. I couldn't even look at. Once I know she went for him or they talked or they got it in, it's an absolute no.
I don't agree 100%, and I'm only gonna say that only based on. I told you that I've been with my significant other since I was 17. My significant other used to date one of my friends.
Wow.
And he's not with nobody that long, and me and her have been together all that time. If I ever look, and I could give you a flip side.
Hold on, wait. You're not just gonna go past
right.
Like, all right, so she used to date one of your friends, and you basically waited for her to stop dating him so you can get her.
Somewhat.
That's the Aquarius shit. I'm sorry. That's shit that we do. Just like it was someone I used to I used to have a homeboy, and he introduced me to this girl, and then once they stopped, you know,
and that's been my relationship. But and I'll give you a flip side to that shot. The same homeboy before he used to date my significant other, he was dating a chick and she was trying to mess with me, and I said no. Because that was my homeboy.
Yeah, that's the type of thing we kind of do. Like, if you come at me, it's different. But if it ain't...
So the second time, it was like, nah, I got to go get mine.
So his girl that he was talking to before, wanted to talk to me, and I said no. Right, completely. Like, she really threw herself at me, and I said, no, that's my homeboy. But then he was dating my significant other, and the one she became available, we was rocking, and we been rocking ever since. So I won't say no, and because I think there's no limits on emotion. What they were doing versus what we're doing is completely different. Like, we got real feelings. What y'all was doing, y'all was playing house over there.
You don't know what they had, nigga.
Me and my homegirl not about to go to brunch, and now we staring eye to eye, wondering did he give her the same joystick he giving me? No, we not doing that.
No, now we gonna rewind all the way to where you're at right now, right? With your kids and your baby daddy and your copacetic relationship, and now this dude is dating you. Y'all sitting at the same table and you're thinking this dude used to bang my chick. Now I'm here with this nigga sitting across.
Well,
you had a threesome at the table.
Word. Like figuratively, right? Figuratively, because guess what? They both hit that.
Exactly.
And but he's allowed. Yeah. He's allowed to bring a woman around, but like, because that's just. We have a family vibe.
That's an orgy.
Or homeboy at the table, like, I done hit her and her. Oh, shit. I'm just saying. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I really feel in a situation where, that might have been your friend's girl, as long as they not still involved.
Yeah. So all right. So it's not off limits for you.
Nah. I don't think so.
And you could take someone serious after somebody dated them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I exhibit that my whole fucking life. I had kids with this chick and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah.
And you, Jasmine, you just can't do it.
It's a no. Or it's a no.
You couldn't even mess with them. Like, all right, let me just get a little something.
No,
something.
and the only time, because now y'all got me thinking. The only time that happened was I was in high school, but so my friend at the time, she liked him.
What's her name? I'm not gonna. Do she know about this shit?
Yeah, she knows. They liked each other, right? Well, she liked him, and when he exhibited that he liked me, we all went to church together. I called her because this was like my best friend, and I was like, "Yo, did you ever pursue the situation with him?" She said no. I said, "Oh, has interest in me. Do you mind?" So I already, and if she would have said no, that would have just been it. It would have been no. But she was like, "Oh, nah, girl, go ahead. Like, he ain't really my speed. Whatever." So I started dating him, something like that. Yeah, but if I know my friend, because my friends are friends, I don't have any like biological sisters, so my homegirls are my sisters. If I knew you talked to him, no.
So what if she's not your friend like that? And it's like,
if she's an associate, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah. So they see this rule to this.
I got some crazy
because you never know. Like, and it's so funny because I wound up sitting at a table with this girl that messed with my ex before I even met him or whatever, and it was kind of like you felt like subs was being thrown, but I wasn't really sure.
It probably was, but then it's all how you get affected by subs, right? I mean,
subs don't bother me.
I think it's a level of maturity, to be honest. Like, if you done dealing with somebody, it shouldn't matter who they move on to if you're done.
Yeah, well, that's why me and my kids fought. That's why we can all sit, because once we ended, we ended. Yeah. We never jumped back into any. We don't even no holding hands, no kissing. Once we broke up, that was the end of it. And like I said on the first episode, I need my kids to see their dad loved properly by a woman that he genuinely is hands on and in love with. Just like I need my children to see a man love me properly, as well. It's just healthy. So that's why we can all sit down together. So the only reason I would have a problem with it because it's my friend. Like, you ain't about to come between me and my friend. What you mean? It's chicks over dicks.
Oh, yeah?
It's bros before hoes.
Bros before hoes.
Chicks over dicks.
Chicks over dicks.
Chicks over dicks. All right. That's your mantra?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chicks over dicks.
Well, being that you said that, Rick, like, I see that's like I think a common thing. We Aquarius guys maybe just like, we always trying to like, what is it? Like, compete?
That's a man thing, period.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, for you to do that, like, perfect example, my wife today. So, I met her, whatever, but it was like a bunch of guys trying to court her at the same time, right? That I knew, but it's like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna get that.
Yeah.
So
Ice. So I met my wife in high school, right? So clearly we wasn't married in high school, but I met her in high school, and she was the finest thing. She's still the finest thing, right? She was kind of what guys want, the pretty, long head, feminine, kept to herself. Not, she liked the street guy, but she's not a street chick. That kind of thing. And guys wanted her, right? But then I'm the dude. I'm seeing all these guys pursuing her, and I'm like, yeah, nah, these dudes ain't it. I'm it. You know what I'm saying? And I got to a point where you wanted to prove that but then once I started really getting involved with her, I knew I was going to be with her. I knew I was going to marry. I told her that when I was 17, 18 years old. So that was like locked in my head from then. But that's also part of the competitive nature, knowing that I'm seeing the end result way before anybody else even see the beginning.
I think that's something, I'm not going to go into the Aquarius thing, but I think that's kind of with men too. You know how when women say they knew from the first time they met them, they was going to sleep with them or something like that? I think with men, we know in a way that we're going to take a woman serious, or like, I remember when the first time I seen like my wife, right? I think she added me on MySpace. And that's how long ago, right? She added me on MySpace, and then I seen her, and
you was like her favorites.
No, I'm trying to think. Was I on top eight? I don't know. And then I just said to myself,
aged.
I said to myself, that's gonna be my girlfriend, like jokingly, right?
Yeah.
Just seeing her picture.
Mm-hmm.
A few months down the line, I met her at a party.
Yeah.
Now this motherfucker my wife. Like, this is crazy. But I kind of said it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel the same way. I used to tell my girl, like, yo, listen, nobody's gonna love you like I'm gonna love you. I swear to God. And I was saying this.
Used to say that.
I was saying that.
Thank God, don't nobody love me like that. They gonna love me because I be bald headed, child.
I was saying that at 18, 17, 18, right? Mm-hmm. But as you say, you kind of see that, and you see the end result before they could see the beginning, and you lock that in, and I lock that in my mind to the point where, like, so she went away to college and she wasn't around me all the time. And if I even had anything going on in between that time, we came back to each other because I know that that's where I wanted to be. I don't care who was in between that. That's where I wanted to be, and that's where we end up being, because that was an intentional thing.
That's dope. I don't have a story like that. No. I met my boyfriend on the bus. I was lost. Man. And I was like, because he's a bus driver. I was like, does this bus go to so-and-so? And he swears I was trying to pick him up with that line.
You know you was.
But I was lost. I really did not know.
You was nowhere.
No, I was on the bus to my father's house.
You was lost,
and he found you.
Pop's house. He found you.
No, because I had started, that was this first day I had started a new job right before the pandemic. And the interview and the training, I drove. Mm-hmm. But the parking over where I was at was so bad. So at the time, I worked kind of, after my kids got out of school, I live right over here by the studio. And my dad would pick my kids up and take them to his house. I was like, oh, okay, his house is on my way home. But that day, because I'm used to I know how to take like the Q2. He lives in Queens Village. It was another bus, and I was like, does this bus go to so-and-so street? He swears that was like my pickup line.
How'd you get his number, though?
Because he was like, oh, this bus will go wherever you want it to go. He was smooth. He was driving smooth. And he was like, could I give him my number? I don't know what compelled me to get this man my number when I got off the bus. I'm glad I did, though. I've never had a love like this in my life. It's amazing. And then I wouldn't drive at all. After that, I would purposely take the bus because it just so happened like our routes would go. I never would get a free ride because he was the second bus. But our routes would be together, and I would catch him on his last route. So I would just ride the last route with him, and then I would make him take me and my kids home. Because the bus depot was right next to my dad's house. So, and it just worked out. It's like, that's my bestie. That's my bro.
I mean, listen, who's to write the story on how it's supposed to happen, right? It happens.
Absolutely.
And when it happens, you just got to recognize it.
Yeah. Right? You have to be ready for it, too, though. Like, I got ready for the relationship I wanted. Like, I learned how to talk to him or to talk to because we met, I wanted to leave New York. So I wasn't dating anybody. I was like, nah, I ain't trying to get serious. Nobody can get stuck here, whatever. Met him, the pandemic happened, and it was such a blessing in disguise. We just learned each other. Like, we would talk about everything for hours on the phone because he was an essential worker. I was staying at home working. He would come to my house and see me through my glass door. It was the cutest thing ever. And he would be spraying Lysol in the air. He's a fool. But it was a blessing. And now here it is 3 years later. And, we, like I said, it's like my bestie.
So back to, what we were saying regarding dating your friends' exes. So it's a no-go for Jazz. But it's a go for Rick.
Don't leave your girl around me. She was playing for Red. Making niggas for Red.
Right. So Jazz had wrote in our topic conversation, we have a topic note, right?
Yeah.
So we talking about what is it? Dating the homie. Explain what dating the homie means.
Yeah.
No, let Jazz. Yeah.
Dating the homie is like, somebody who you're good friends with, and y'all look up one day and was like, maybe we should try this. And then y'all try it, and you sitting there, you like, why we did this?
Right.
That happened to me. I dated somebody for 2 weeks, and we looked at each other like,
let's just be friends.
This not gonna happen.
Dating the homie. Dating the homie is it that you look up and you say we should try this, or that feeling was instinctively there from before and you just kind of suppressed it to be friends? Because
that's a good question.
Because the thing is, you're not just gonna wake up and be like, I'm attracted to this person. You know, if you attracted to this person, you got friends. You be like, yo, she's fine. You know what I mean? This girl is fine, right? But if you initially feel like, yo, because I got majority of my realest closest friends are female, and I have friends that nothing has ever happened because I don't look at them like that, right? They've gotten drunk, and I bring them home. I take the clothes off, give them a bath, put them in bed, nothing, right? I can do that, right? So versus you saying, listen, we drunk tonight, it ends up happening. That just don't happen like that. That happens because there was an initial attraction there and we suppressed it, right? Now that we suppressed it and now it's come out, now it's like, all right, do we want to value our friendship or this little thing that's happening right here, right? And that's what really dating a homie is because, yo, we really friends, but we've now engaged in something that we shouldn't have engaged in, or we're allowing ourselves to engage in.
Yes.
And that could either jeopardize our friendship or turn our friendship into something else.
Yes,
right? So I think you can have maybe a relationship that starts because people always say, yo, I want my best friend. Well, you fucking him. You know what I'm saying? Right? Or it's, you know, you tarnishing a relationship by crossing the line with someone that's generally your friend.
So you said it happened with you. How long were you friends before you guys?
Oh my God, we were friends for a while. And it was so weird. He had dated this other girl named Jasmine, right?
He loved him.
Then she hated me.
Jasmine.
Then she hated me or whatever. To this day, that girl hates me, but she'll get over it. And because she, from my understanding, and I ran into her like 17 years later, and I was on a project, working on a project, and I don't know if she tried to get me fired off the project. She couldn't, though. I was an independent contract. That's a whole nother story. But when I called him to tell him, because I'm now Auntie Jazz to all his kids. You know what I'm saying? I was there for the first marriage. I was there for the divorce. Like, I'm like a sister.
Wait. So you're Auntie Jazz.
She the homie.
Because when I say nothing happened between us, I think we kissed one time and it was like, this is very awkward.
But you see what I'm saying though, Jazz? There was that, and you don't just kiss just because you friends.
No, we were dating.
Okay.
We were dating because he liked me. We were younger. This was like high school time. So we were younger. He liked me. We started dating. But like I said, after 2 weeks, we just looked up and was like,
So you just did it then and
it was mutual.
Yeah.
It was very mutual.
Okay.
It was just very awkward. And, you know, this other girl named Jasmine, from my understanding, she thought something happened between us more than what it was or whatever. I'm probably telling way too much of my business, God. But
blame Shatek.
but yeah, so we ended, and it was just like, to this day, he's like he calls me his sis. I call him my bro. Like there's nothing there.
Does that back thought, that back experience sit in the back of your mind? Like,
No.
Nah, at all? Because I feel like that would be the issue all the time, is that you know that, you know what I mean, that's happened. And also what I find is that you're in a relationship and you're that person that you confide in that person with things that are going in your actual relationship. Right? So you're like, yo, man, my girl be getting on my nerves and da 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 da. And then the back of that person's mind, like, yo, you know, I know what
Only
you
if you
need.
knew,
I know what you want.
It's like that. It'd be like that, I'm sure.
So it's like, you know, because I have a friend that's like that, right? Where it's like, a lot of times when I hear she's talking about her relationship, I feel like she's talking about what me and her could be, right? In the sense of like, but we're friends. And I think she sees all the things that I give to my wife, and she's like, I want those things that you give. And when she's talking about what her ideal guy would be, it's me. And I know it. I'm summing it up in the back of my mind, but we just friends. And maybe we just friends because I won't let it go to anywhere else. Like I've drawn the line. We are friends and nothing else is going to happen here.
If that's her intent, she trifling and she should get punched in the throat.
Probably, but I'm also not allowing that to happen.
Right.
But
Which I applaud you for, because most men cannot curve women.
So it's the thing about, is that her intent, or is it just because like she
know what she doing?
She venting to me.
That hoe know what she doing. She know it. We do. As women, we know. We know when a guy's all over us. We know when We know when to say slick shit because we think you're listening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, women know how to put the bug and plant a seed.
But then what about the fact that she's plugging it and I'm not feeding into it and I haven't been?
But that's why she keeps doing it, because she thinks she's hoping eventually you're going to catch on and you're going to take the bait. And whether she takes it and now tells your wife, because there's women that do that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's trifling as hell. Especially if I know you married. Why? Like, what? No.
People aspire, they aspire to have good things.
That's cool. But now if your wife hauls off and beats her ass.
I'll beat my ass. I ain't trying to do that.
Well, everybody goes.
Hello.
So,
everybody go night-night. Okay? So, because like I said, it's just trifling. And to me, as a woman, I couldn't even be friends with a man that I was attracted to.
Really?
That was married. I'm not attracted to none of my friends, but especially if he's married. Like, or I couldn't be friends with somebody and I thought your husband was attractive. No, that's just weird.
But you don't think someone could be attractive and you don't have to pursue them?
Of course.
Because I think that's another thing that happens with women.
But I don't even look at nobody
on
like
a daily basis too. Is that they think because men find them attractive that men want them, and that might and I could think you're fine as hell and not think that. So
a lot of people.
And you get the whole idea of like maybe physically you think I think you're beautiful. A lot of people are beautiful. I think my friends are beautiful, but then I'm not physically attracted to them in that way. So, they could be fine, but they're not mine.
I agree. Well, it's like I can look at a woman, and by no means do I want to be with women at all.
Yeah.
But appreciate the elegance. This ass is so gross to me. Like, no, there's just nothing about a woman that would turn me on.
It's gross until some Casamigos kick in, and then
still, ew, no.
So
all women are bi-curious.
Not at all. Not at all.
Hold on, wait. So it's never been a time
wrinkled.
It's never been a time where it happened a lot. The girls in our generation where they tried it.
Yeah.
You ain't never tried it?
You ain't never tried it?
No.
A girl never tried to kiss you?
Yeah. I had a coworker. I had a coworker who, she was gay, and it was just so weird. Like, her girlfriend hated me or whatever, but we were coworkers, you know what I'm saying? It was a very like we were psychiatric counselors and taking care of crazy people, whatever. So it was very hands on, and we had cases in the state nobody wanted.
I bet.
No, but like no, for real, like I got attacked on the job while I was pregnant, but you had to trust your coworkers, you know what I'm saying? And she wasn't from New York or whatever, so she would ask me. Because at that time I was going out all the time, like, oh, where's this party? And I used to tell her, yo, bring your woman. Like, I don't like chicks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then come to find out, I guess she liked me. And funny enough, somebody else at the job liked her. And was I was like, he wanted to get one because she seemed untouched or whatever. Weird stuff. But no, nothing about a woman. Nothing about a woman.
I know girls right now that to the world, they are best friends, hanging out, doing girl brunch stuff, and they fucking like all the time. Yeah, they to the
I don't
world.
See the point.
To the world, they are best friends.
I like real meat,
and they're like,
I don't want no Impossible burgers.
I'm just saying, to the world, they're like just sisters. Best friends, whatever, but
ain't no scissoring,
and they've been scissoring for years.
Never.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and in everybody's eyes, they're heterosexual females, but when that liquor get in them, you know what I mean?
When the liquor's in the system, ain't no telling.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a no.
Yeah. Right. So I know a couple of females that are like that. That they straight until they ain't.
So this concludes our conversations on film conversations on film conversation on the Beatsonfilm network. All right, tell us where we can find you, Jazz.
Well, y'all already know I am on Instagram at Highly Siddidy LLC. That's HIGHLY SIDDITY LLC. And that's really it. Like, y'all know I really don't like social media like that.
Right
if
now,
you come to my page.
She has a meme account. She's gonna start putting pictures up, things of that nature. We're gonna
I really
revamp that.
Loathe social media. I hate it.
All right, Rick.
It was you can find me on Instagram at Hollywood Your Boy. That's Hollywood YABOY.
Okay.
And go check out my Royal and Ratchet podcast.
Okay.
I mean,
Is it gonna come back?
yes, it's gonna come back.
When?
When? And I'm working on another podcast that's coming in here too.
Got you.
Growing but growing.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, you also could check out Rick. You know, he always be on the Breakfast Club talking to them people all the time.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yo, I should, since I'm on here, I might as well get y'all to petition for me to replace Angela.
This is your camera right here. Tell
right
them.
now, Charlemagne, Envy. I be calling up there every goddamn morning. Y'all know my voice. Everybody hear my voice. I should be up there replacing Angela on the Breakfast Club. At least everybody do that.
At least give him a week.
Word.
Give him a week and see how it could be. You know what I mean? And it'd be the
I
Three
agree.
Amigos Breakfast Club.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cute.
Right.
Amigos.
Right.
I'm not playing them sausage games y'all be playing, but I'm with it.
Because you know Jamaicans don't play that, right? So all right, so this, you can follow me on Instagram, Shatek the producer, Conversations on Film Instagram account, Beatsonfilm Instagram account, and especially you need to go to youtube.com/beatsonfilm and look in the playlist. We have a whole playlist full of all the episodes and conversations. I need you guys to like, subscribe, comment, do all of the things that the YouTubers say. And what do they say? Until the next one. All right, we out of here. Peace.
Look, man. Good conversation, Jazz.
Whoa, Shatek.